Here's a question. What is the most sustainable source of either fish or meat protein that we eat, which is the best for the environment and arguably best for us?
Well, it may or may not surprise you to learn that it is this, the humble mussel.
Like oysters, they clean their own environment, they create an environment for other creatures, they don't have any antibiotics, they don't require feeding. How can you tell that a mussel is safe to eat? When I talk about a mussel, I'm talking about a sort of seafood bivalve in a shell, not some amorous act. A lot of people are scared of eating mussels. They've either had a bad one or they know someone that has, and so they won't even go near them. But mussels are perfectly safe as long as you follow some basic rules. Recently, I was invited to an event by Eat Scottish Shellfish. Basically, it's the Association of Scottish Shellfish Marketers, Crown Land, Scotland, and various other organisations who are trying to promote the fact that we should eat more British shellfish, that they're perfectly healthy, perfectly good for us, and in fact, that mussels might well be the most sustainable source of fish or meat protein that we can eat. This event was brilliant. It was down at Billingsgate to start with. We got to cook with the legendary CJ Jackson, who gave me a copy of her book, which I'll try and review at some point. What a fantastic woman. What she doesn't know about shellfish isn't worth knowing. It was just all kinds of different ways of cooking them, just to celebrate the fact. And they were delicious. And I ate so many mussels and oysters that day. And did I get sick? No, because they're fresh, they're best, and we followed these rules. So how do you tell if a mussel's okay? Well, it's quite similar to oysters, really. First of all, when you take them out, they should all be closed tight. If one of them's open, you give it a tap on the end of the shell. If it doesn't close, then throw it away. Any cracks in the shell, throw it away. And then you pull away the little sort of beardy bit on the side, pull it out through the back. So obviously I'm on my high horse again about eating British food, but I can tell you that Scottish mussels, particularly from those from Shetland, the water up there is so clean, they're absolutely fantastic. If you follow those steps, you'll be absolutely fine. Mussels are delicious, and of course they're so sustainable. I spoke to one of the mussel fishermen who was there with us, and he said, as far as he knows, no one's had an issue eating one of their mussels for about the last 30 years or so. And what about cooking them? Well, you cook them in whichever sauce you've chosen. Let's say it's cream and white wine, which is my favourite. And you cook them for 3 to 5 minutes, and they should all open up. Now, there's a lot of argument about whether or not you should eat the closed mussels or not. The general consensus is probably not, because for a mussel to cook thoroughly, it needs to open so it can actually cook it inside. So if it hasn't opened properly, it may or may not have cooked. Now, it might be that it's okay, but do you really want to take that risk? Personally, I wouldn't. So there it is. You buy your mussels from a reputable fishmonger, you go through those checks, and you should be absolutely fine. The way to overcome fear is either to be educated or to drink large amounts of whiskey. With Scottish mussels, you can do both. And on that note, have a wonderful day.